So what you saw just now was an AMRAAM 120's kill live, and you have seen what it has done to the aircraft it went to hit. Now, this one was the AIM-9, whatever version it was, and that's what it has done to a MiG-29 in an active war situation. So now that you've seen what the Sidewinders, heat-seeking missiles, or the AMRAAMs 120s, the radar-based missiles, what they do to their enemy aircrafts within the vicinity of about 20 to 30 kilometers. So if someone tells me that F-15 Strike Eagles, that team was hit by a Sidewinder or an American AMRAAM 120 BVR missile, and yet all these three aircrafts were intact and they came down normally, no sir, this is a cover-up. Now, you're watching all this because of the F-15 Eagles and the SETCOM of the US. They reported that 3 of the F-15 Eagles were shot down by friendly fire. So most of the commentators, the American commentators especially, once they got the news, they started following the state media's narrative, and then they started telling us about the Patriot missile batteries, how they work. So most of the American commentators on this issue for last 3 days have been telling us all about the friendly fires, and everyone mentioned the incident that happened in 2003. The Royal Air Force Tornado got shot down by a Patriot missile back then. So this shows the immaturity and less professionalism by these so-called ex-fighter pilots, that they couldn't even differentiate between a Patriot missile hit from their own country with now they're coming up with the F-18 story, that one F-18 has shot 3 F-16s, 3 American F-16s in a row. Let me give you a simple example of Mr. Max Afterburner. I don't know why I'm after him. Maybe because of his name, Bodenheimer. So my name is Shaw. So my ancestors were from Iran. And his name is Bodenheimer. And his ancestors are from Germany. And he is a Jewish and I am a Muslim. So probably that rivalry from centuries, although I don't take that as a rivalry, I'm a very open person, but probably because of that, something in the genes. Now, listen to his first video when it was Patriot missile, what he says.
That Patriot's going to do to the back end of the aircraft. But the thing I like about the Patriot, and this is why it's amazing, because it can take down fighters, obviously, as you can see, but also it's not going and biasing towards the front of the cockpit. In rare instances where there is some sort of a friendly fire instant, there are surface-to-air missiles out there that'll bias towards the cockpit and basically, destroy the air crew.
So the recent video, 6 hours ago, what he says.
So they haven't confirmed what it was. They haven't confirmed if it's F-18s, if it's Patriots. But again, now looking at this footage again, having reviewed it many times at this point, to me, the plume, when it hits the back of the F-15E, to me, yeah, a Patriot missile, the size of the Patriot missile, the speed of the Patriot missile, and it's probably gonna focus on center mass. Just, that'd be my opinion. I don't know for sure, but.
I was the first one, my video is there, to say that this was not a Patriot missile hit. If Patriot TAC-3 missile hits an aircraft, the aircraft would vaporize. This hit was not by a 6-meter tall, long Patriot missile. You can see the timeline of my video when I posted it, my first video, and you can see clearly that I denied this is not a Patriot missile hit. A Patriot missile does not spare the enemy's rival aircraft. It is meant to dismantle them, vaporize them. Allow me to use the word too. But everyone was, oh, Patriot missile, PSC-3, PSC-3, Patriot missile. And then this whole tongue twister of Patriot missile, I've heard on hundreds of channels. And all of them were saying the same tone, mentioning the same incident of 2003, the tornado incident, and that's it. But now it has been changed to F-18. So now the tongue twister from Patriot missile would change to F-18, F-18, F-18 Hornet, Block 3, F-18 Hornet. It's like, oh, F-18 Hornet. I'm a bad singer, pardon me. So now, as the things have been shifted, Wall Street Journal, why I take their words as granted, because about the Air India Flight 171, even the initial report was not out. They published what was going to be in the initial report, and exactly the same thing happened. So I take their word as granted because they have a good reputation about aviation incidents. The Kuwaiti Air Force, not one, not two, not three, but the world's superpower against the world's superpower, United States of America, against their Air Force, commenced a kill of 3 F-15s. 3, not 1, not 2. 3. If he would have shot down 2 more aircrafts, he would have been declared as an ace. That happened, that incident of shooting down 5 aircrafts in one sortie on the world record. Again, I would glorify my Air Force. The Pakistan Air Force has done this in 1965 war, and that time, squadron leader M.M. Alam, he achieved killing 500 aircrafts of Indian Air Force in one sortie, and they say within a span of 45 seconds. Now, F-15 state-of-the-art aircrafts, like $100 million a piece aircraft, being shot by F-18 within what, seconds? Because the time it takes from loading one missile, not loading, shooting one, and then switching on to the other one, depending on their, what they call it, the gravity code. This sure is a Fox 3 kill. So anyhow, shooting down the world's superpowers, the most advanced Air Force, shooting their 3 planes down in a go. That pilot must have been, all his squadron mates, I'm sure, they would have given him a big hippie hooray. Although it's a friendly fire, as accused as alleged. But what I'm saying, I can see the scenario, the pilot walking back into the control, because he has no idea that he has shot the friendly aircraft. He did his job. Otherwise, if he weren't convinced, he would not have made those kills. He was 100% convinced that these are the foe aircrafts and I have to shoot them down. And once you shoot them down, that's it. Kill 1 confirmed, 2 confirmed, 3 confirmed, and return to base. Land down, park the aircraft, switch off the aircraft, park the aircraft, get out of the aircraft, go to the crew room, and everyone is gonna, because you send all the information through ADC calls towards your controllers, and everyone knows what you have done, what you have achieved. So they would have hugged him, threw him up in the air, hip hip hooray, and man, this, even after that, once they knew that it was a friendly fire and he mistakenly has hit the F-15s, that's still a kill. That these 3 F-16s had no idea. And a guy from Kuwaiti Air Force, using American technology, using all the American missiles, has shot down an American, not an American, 3 American aircrafts, and let 6 people eject the aircraft. All of them are safe and sound. This is what, because it's if allegedly it's a non-combat kill, a friendly fire, as alleged. So now let's come to the main point, and that is F-18 shooting down 3 F-15. So what were F-15s doing in the air? I mean, just as I said, that they were probably under the impression of being relaxed. They just threw out their payload and dropped all the bombs on Iranian Air Force or whatever the ground attacks they were given, because F-15 is a bomber. And a bomber does the bombing mission. So what they have to do is they have to go up to a height and drop their laser-guided missiles or whatever they have, the cruise missiles or anything from air to ground. So once they empty their payload, now they have to return to the base. So once you're returning to the base and you're going through the friendly zone with the coalition country, you would be relaxed. And that tension of being in an active war situation and dealing with all this, you could be shot. You never underestimate your enemy. So all this stress, whenever you come back to your homeland, your return to base, your landing base, you feel relaxed. So you let your guards down. So that's where the vulnerability comes in. In my yesterday's video, I talked very clearly about that. But I'm going to talk about two scenarios. Let's say it was a heat-seeking Sidewinder. Now, for a heat-seeking Sidewinder or Sidewinder, AIM-9 X or L, whatever the Kuwait Air Force was using, Sidewinder is a very small missiles, but they seek the heat of the aircraft, and normally from 5 miles to 20 miles. Now, the visibility on that day, even if it were 5 miles, the visibility where you can see physically, but just imagine you're seeing an aircraft 5 miles away, so you do not know what it is. Since you're flying with a high speed, you're moving left and right. So even if it's 3 nautical miles away from you, 3 kilometers away from you, you would not be able to recognize what, because that would, even visually, you would be like a dot. So I give that to F-18 Pilot, that even if it were visual, and he must have confirmed with his radar. Because, let me give you another example. What's link 16 of data link, where NATO forces are all integrated with each other? Correct me if I'm wrong. See, we have a family group. Now, in a family group, well, for example, my dad is the admin of the WhatsApp group. I'm giving a very lame example, but bear with me. That's how I can explain data link 16. So now let's say we are 2 brothers and a sister, right? And myself, 4 people. And my dad is the admin of the group and my mom is the moderator. So let's suppose we were kids and my sister needs to go attend a party. My big brother needs to go and attend a party at his school. The second brother has to attend a party at his school, and I have to attend a party at my school. So how do we coordinate with each other? We would coordinate through that group so that our parents know where we are going. Now, I'm from a culture where we need to tell the parents where we go, so that's why, bear with me. So I would just leave a message in the group. Okay, I'm taking a taxi, that's my taxi number, and I'm gonna go to this destination. Mom and dad acknowledged. Now, once they acknowledged, all other 3 members would also see where I'm going. Same as the case when my sister drops a message, everyone knows. I'm just talking about a small family. This is a big combat zone. There would be hundreds of scenarios like this. What aircraft is going which side, what drone is going which way, what fuel tanker is going which way, and all these things. But again, they have more controllers, they have more moderators, they have more admins of the group. So everyone deals with one kind of squadron. And then that one person dealing with one squadron would have been a lot of help. They have the computers, the AI. So a lot of things, they work together and they make sure that these kind of incidents don't happen. So the pilot confirmed that that's not a drone, and that's something moving at a very high speed. So his radar can see it on the screen. So what would he do? Just like what would I do when I'm going out of the house? So he's also going to tell it to data link 16, and just because they are all integrated. So now someone over there knows these F-15, they are returning back to the base. They are talking to the ATC and they are updating their data to the data link 16. So now the F-18 pilot confirms, he sends a signal to his superiors, they confirm, and he shoots 1, 2, 3 F-15 pilots. On the other hand, they could not know about Fox 2 heat-seeking missiles because F-15s are not equipped with the sensors that could tell them that there's a heat-seeking missile coming onto them and gonna hit them. That's a shortcoming of F-15 strike team or Eagles. So what's the second thing? Again, I've shown you in the beginning of the video that once the AIM-9 hits an aircraft, even a dummy aircraft, what it does to it. Boom, vaporized. And in this case, all 3 aircrafts were not vaporized. What kind of formation they were in, we don't know, but CM Lemon, he said that probably they were in 2-on-2 formation, and 3 of them got hit and 4th one did not. Well, he just jokingly asked the conky guy that what if you were number 4 and 3 of your formation friends have been down? So as a lead, you saw Super Hornet coming at you hot. What would you do?
Let me ask you this, Gonky. Hypothetical. Let's say it's a Kuwaiti Hornet that did this. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying you're Dash 4. You have the aircraft.
Well, if it were me, F-15 is a bomber and it's not equipped with sidewinders to, and once they're going for that kind of mission, they do not have the what you call the air-to-air fight thingy, because they're always with an escort. So I think there were 2 or 3 escorts. So what I would just run. Once I see a hot F-18 Hornet coming at me, and 3 of my friends have landed through parachutes, run, Forrest, run. I will become Forrest Gump.
Run, Forrest, run! Run, Forrest!
Now, the second case scenario. AMRAAM 120 Fox 2. And that missile needs to be guided. If it's in a short distance, then you fire and forget, because it has the coordinates loaded onto its chip, and as soon as you fire it, short distance means less than 10 to 5 nautical miles. So it's going to go on the predestination. Oh, nice move, by the way, and boom, hit the target. So F-18 can lock multiple targets, and it can hit multiple targets simultaneously. This would be the radar guided missiles, AMRAAM 20, which now all of them are saying it's AMRAAM 20. So that's what I want to debunk. No, bro, it's not AMRAAM 120. Because although for heat-seeking missiles, F-15 is not equipped, but for radar-guided missiles, F-15 is fully equipped. Why? Because it is a bomber, and bombers have the biggest threat from the ground-based air defense systems, and they work on radar. So it has the RWR installed very well, and there are many other systems, 4 other systems installed on F-15 that tells him, hey, something is coming. Although it doesn't have the missile approach warning system, but it does have the radar guided missile warning system, or RWR in simple. So if one missed it, second shouldn't. If second missed it, the third shouldn't. The third missed it, the fourth in the formation shouldn't miss it. But it seems like all 3 of them had no idea what was coming to them. Now, if they really had no idea what was coming to them, then this is a big alarming situation for the USAF. If Iranians know this, that your F-15s are impotent. They don't know once the missile is locked at them, air to air, surface to air. So that would be a weak point for the Americans. So don't promote this thing that they were locked in. Just go for Operation Eagle Claw Part 2. That happened in 1979. So just say, well, some external power has disintegrated this one. So eventually, in the end, I would just say that, nah, it wasn't an F-18 kill. You can cover it up. It wasn't a Patriot missile kill. That has been proven right. Thank you. Thanks myself. And this is all going towards one road. And that is, again, I'll sum it up, YLC 8B plus EW jammers plus Shahed drones or LR 383. Thank you for watching. See you next time.